man. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. China's simp economy is collapsing. No men paying. Let's see what happens.
China's economic downturn has not only hit businesses, but it's also reshaping social relationships. A recent incident in Liaoning reflects how these changes are playing out in daily life. 3 young women went out for a barbecue late at night. Throughout the meal, they kept calling male friends, asking them to join for drinks. Unfortunately, none of the men agreed to the invitation, and no one showed up. When it was time to pay, the restaurant owner discovered that the 3 women couldn't cover a bill of just over 200 yuan. So what?
I ran a bar myself. They said they had no money.
You're bullying young girls.
Who's bullying you? You drank 5 or 6 bottles of beer, ate your fill, and now can't pay 200 yuan? People are laughing. It's embarrassing.
In the video, a woman squatted on the ground, arguing with the owner while frantically messaging.
Now, a lot of people think that this is just a Western issue. No, it's not, because people don't know that economies is what determine relationship dynamics. So, when economies are doing good, especially globally, then you have booming marriages, you have booming relationships, you have procreation. People are reproducing. But when it's the opposite, yeah, it's the opposite. Everything is in decline and everything is imploding, and that's what's happening right now. Look at her pointing.
Friends for help. The restaurant posted the footage online, which quickly sparked a heated debate. Viewers mocked the women, suggesting that they had planned to find someone to pay for them. Some praised the absent men for refusing, believing that they had likely been taken advantage of before. Others pointed out a wider trend. When women invite men out, especially at the last minute, the expectation is often that the man will cover the bill. This incident highlights the collapse of what some have called the simp economy,
The simp economy collapsing. Yikes.
referring to men who spend money, time, and effort on women without receiving genuine affection in return.
That's powerful.
With the economic slowdown, more men are refusing to play this role, leaving women who relied on such behavior caught off guard. One striking example involved a woman who tried to take advantage of a blind date. On her first meeting, she ordered nearly 30,000 yuan worth of seafood. Halfway through the meal, the man excused himself to take a phone call, but he never returned. He blocked her on social media, leaving her with the entire bill. I've never met such a shameless man. You say you have no money, but then why even go on a date? Yesterday, this man promised to take me to dinner. I ordered seasonal dishes like king crab, black tiger prawn, and sea cucumber. Then, seeing the menu was good, I ordered more sea cucumber and even packed extra for my friends. I also ordered more king crab.
We got something for her friends. That's crazy. But if he promised to take her to the dinner, then that is a red flag on him. Fellas, you got to be selective with the words that you say, and you also have to be very mindful of your intentions.
To take home for my brother to try. He was still cheerful at the start, but after the meal, he said he needed to take a call. I waited 2 hours and he never came back. I called him, but he still didn't answer, and then he blocked me. What kind of person does that? In the end, I had no choice but to pay with my credit card. 28,000 yuan. He just disappeared completely. This guy is unbelievable. Next time, I'll be more careful with blind dates and won't meet such a scumbag again. Online reactions were swift. Many applauded the man, saying a woman who orders thousands of yuan worth of food on a first date deserves to be left with a check.
Damn.
Some referred to it as a textbook example of standing up to gold diggers. Another viral video told a similar story. A woman dined at a...
The crazy part is there's so many of these viral videos. Like, I didn't even know it was popping like this in China.
Restaurant but refused to pay, claiming she was an angel and wanted to put the meal on the tab.
I can't even put it on my tab here, can I?
Who do you think you're talking to? Do you know who I am? I'm an angel.
Angel. Angels should pay when they eat. Otherwise, you're not really an angel. You want to cheat ordinary people while pretending to be one?
I'm definitely going to pay. I said I wanted to put it on my tab, but they wouldn't let me. I've been waiting for over an hour and my legs are starting to ache.
Since you're an angel, why not just give some money to help out? Let an ordinary person use it, okay?
She couldn't argue anymore, so she started complaining about the food, pointing out every flaw, and even asked the owner for compensation. I originally wanted to put it on the tab, but today I can't. I've waited so long, and the dish smells bad. The duck has no salt, and I'm still hungry. What do I do? How are you going to compensate for the loss?
Compensate for the loss? If you're an angel, do you even need to say such things? Then you're not an angel.
This angel's out of money for the past 2 months.
All right. Stop pretending to be crazy. Just pay up already.
This gotta be fake, man. But I think it's real. This is crazy.
The restaurant owner explained that in the end, the angel still left without paying. Online, viewers joked that she was likely one of the leftover women, a term used to describe women, usually in their late 20s or older, who remain unmarried due to various social pressures and expectations. The collapse of the simp economy has exposed deeper issues. Data from China's Ministry of Civil Affairs shows that only 6.1 million couples registered for marriages in 2024, the lowest in 45 years. The number of men
The lowest in 45 years. The lowest in 45 years.
choosing never to marry is now 24 times higher than that of women, and many cite the same reason.
24 times men are saying they're not getting married? 24 times higher than women? That's crazy.
They no longer want to be taken advantage of. In China's consumer culture, love has increasingly been tied to money, expensive gifts, luxury bags, and costly dating rituals. For many men, the costs have outweighed the benefits, leading to growing disillusionment with marriage and dating. One online post put it this way: I was led to believe that being good to someone meant I could win their heart, but in reality, I was just paying for an illusion.
Duh. Because you were sold a dream. See, Uncle Sam did this a long time ago. It was a combination of Uncle Sam and The Crown. And when they started to monetize the whole marriage game with South Africa, and when they started to find out the way that they could really just like run up that bag with the marriage certificates, using them as bonds, and I'm not going to get into all of that other, but y'all should really do y'all research about it and see what it's really tied to. I mean, we know marriage was always a business, but these governments found a way to actually use it for themselves. Now, most people, what they confuse marriage for is actually matrimony. And that is like when you actually, have a contract with a partner, or partners, that y'all gonna live a certain type of way. But marriage is just a process, it's a business, it's a certificate. It is for Uncle Sam and these other governments or corporations to create these certificates, bonds, or whatever it is, and then trade them. That's what they use for. That's what it is. Same thing as like birth certificates. That's what the game is. But people don't know the bond game.
One commenter said, in the past, men would chase women, thinking they had money and hope for the future, so they were willing to be simping dogs. But now, with the economy slowing down, men are starting to do the math. If you treat me well, I'll treat you well. If you treat me badly, I won't keep tolerating it. Marriage markets across the country also reflect this change.
Damn.
Despite women outnumbering men in many events, expectations remain high. Women with modest incomes still demand men with houses, cars, and six-figure salaries,
Sheesh.
along with large dowries. Many men simply opt out. Some women who
Opting out. That's, boy, it must be a global thing. Now, if you do find a good one, please believe you should give her like the best of everything. But you got to go through it to find a good one. And then you also have to be able to analyze and know what makes her a good one. Like that, a lot of dudes don't really get this training to know how to actually vet and pick and select through women, Like it's not really hella hard, But you do need experience, and you need to know what you're looking for. So out of 100 women, how can you tell which 10 are the ones that you actually should entertain to see who you gonna fuck with, And then for some men may do monogamy, some, on a poly thing, but it just depends on you, But you still need to be able to select. You still need to be able to see like what women are for you. Whoo, this game is getting tough.
relied on men's spending now find themselves in financial distress. A phenomenon called debt repayment brides has appeared, women offering marriage in exchange for having personal debts paid off.
现在还单身的单身狗们，
Now, for all the single men out there, here's a rare opportunity. Don't miss it. If someone can pay off my 260,000 yuan debt, then buy me a new car and a new iPhone 16, I'll go with him. First come, first served. Don't miss this chance.
That's crazy. 304 activities are being misclassified as something else. That's crazy.
The stark, transactional approach to marriage not only exposes the financial struggles of some women, but also reflects how, after the collapse of the simp economy, some people are now attempting to turn the tables through marriage. The proposal sparked outrage online, with many comments warning men not to fall into a debt trap. Marriage to pay off debt? I can't believe you'd even think of that. What a trick. Others didn't buy it either. Helped pay off her debt, then she'll just run off. It's true, Chinese people don't deceive Chinese people. Another person commented, these days, men are waking up. Who would want to fall into such a debt trap? As the economy declines, the simp economy isn't the only thing crumbling.
Damn.
Many women's survival anxieties are multiplying. One user posted, in times of economic recession, women's anxiety far outweighs that of men. It's almost a law. In the past, society followed a culture where men worked and women stayed home.
Now, remember earlier I had said that the economy determines the dynamics of the relationships. So what they're referring to is the nuclear family structure. During the period of the 40s, 50s, and 60s, after the Industrial Revolution, right before the microprocessor and everything started going fully corporate, a lot of men were leaving their homes, their villages. They were leaving their family trades, and they were going off to the city, to get better work. It actually started probably in the early 1900s, late 1800s. But the thing that was the point of them going was because they felt like it was more opportunity. But those industries were, they were manual. It was a lot of real labor, a lot of labor work. So they needed manpower. They needed men. Around the 70s, 80s, the corporations stopped going from physical work and it started becoming more data processes, more data centers, more information. So it stopped being you need as much physical labor. You need thinkers. That integration brought in a lot of women. A lot of women became the breadwinners, especially in the time period from that period to right now, after the birth of social media and content, because content and social media is more of a highlight, is more powerful in the hands of a woman than it is for men. Like when women make content, especially if it's a beautiful woman, then she'll have a lot of men looking and she'll have a lot of women looking. But for a man, when he makes content, unless he has a lot of materialistic, just like really, really good educational points, or if it's like somebody who's really known and it has some status, those are the only way that they're going to really be able to do the same amount of views. But for women, because men love looking at women, even women love looking at women, they're automatically going to win in that aspect. It doesn't matter what they have. As long as they look good, people are going to view them. For men, it don't work like that. So it's like when that changed, and because of the direction that everything is going when it comes to industries, everything is more visual. Everything is content. Everything is social media. Everything is on the phone. So that is the difference between, the nuclear family structure. And then with COVID, everybody was locked in on a house. It amplified that. So everybody was making content. Everything was, was through the phone. That's where the money, the e-commerce was selling. That's why you have so many women that's doing this. OnlyFans, the birth of OnlyFans. You get what I mean? So, yeah, it made a big difference.
Men were expected to earn, and women didn't have to be overly strong. The marriage market valued a woman's age, looks, and personality more than her job abilities. However, the economic downturn has brought women's survival issues to the forefront. Not only are they struggling to find quality partners, but they also face employment anxieties, health issues, family pressures, and age-related worries. The experiences of Japan during its economic downturn serve as a cautionary tale. When Japan entered an era of stagnant growth, society didn't provide enough space for women who didn't rely on men. Many jobs didn't hire women, leading to severe employment discrimination. And single mothers and women faced harsh living conditions. Long-term single living even triggered widespread mental health issues. Now, many Chinese women are facing similar struggles.
到了我这个年龄，其实没有结婚。
At my age, it's really painful not being married. I'm so scared. What should...
Now, it's crazy because they are experiencing this in the West a lot, more throughout the UK. I'd say like Britain and America for sure in America. But it's I feel like the social norm or the social trend, so the psychology and the sociology around it is different. It's more of an embracement, and it's more of a okay, well, celebration time, but also reality is still kicking in, because in the West we have a more of a hypersexualized and overly monetary value, so sex is like super valued here, so like prostitutes, 304s, escorts, strippers, shit like that. Men of higher levels, they pay for it, but they only paying for it to play for a little bit. They're not paying for it to like keep it permanently. And a lot of the trend of what's happening with a lot of the women is they're going that route, because they like what comes with those things. They like the materialistic things. But on a long term level, they just playing the hot potato getting passed around game. And eventually it's like, unless a man takes them off the market, and or rocks with them permanently, they just getting a lot of miles, Well, let's see what she says.
What should I do? I'm really scared. The fear inside me keeps me up at night, unable to sleep. Am I going to live my life alone? Growing old alone? I can't even be around men now. I'm afraid of interacting with them. I've been deceived so many times before, and now I have a fear of men. I feel like I'm not like other people. It feels a little abnormal, but it's actually normal. Sometimes I just feel like I'm so conflicted inside. Analysts note that men no longer want to be simping dogs, and this shift has caused the collapse of the gold digger economy.
Damn.
The ripple effects are visible in multiple industries. 1. Luxury goods sector.
Now, this is important. So let's pay attention to this because, again, it does affect the economy. Economy determine the relationships. But in turn, the relationships also add or take away from the economy's growth because who's spending the money?
According to a report by consulting firm Bain & Company, luxury goods sales in mainland China fell 18 to 20% in 2024. Many women with unstable incomes are now reselling secondhand luxury goods to make ends meet. Over the past decade, China's secondhand luxury market has grown sevenfold, with gold diggers now making up the majority of sellers.
Damn.
2. Fine dining and ritualistic consumption. Previously, gold diggers loved sleeping in, applying makeup, having afternoon tea, posting pictures from fine dining restaurants, and discussing catching rich men with friends. However, since 2023, fine dining restaurants in major cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen have struggled, with revenue now down to only 40% of previous levels. Even high-end milk tea brands.
Random, but I love Guangzhou. I spent some time out there. It's actually a nice-ass city. Factory district. If you get a chance to go fuck around in China, definitely do it. I definitely say it's on point.
Brands are struggling. 3. Personal consumption loans. Men are no longer lending money to play the simping dog, while women, unable to repay loans, have gone from
Crazy how they kept saying men are no longer being the simping dog.
Being goddesses to leftover women.
Damn.
The bad loan rate for personal consumption loans at the 6 largest banks has continued to rise, with some loans becoming uncollectible and new loans unable to be issued. By early 2025, interest rates for consumer loans had even dropped to below 3%. 4. Elite training schools. These schools, which promise to teach women how to enter high society, with tuitions ranging from thousands to tens of thousands of yuan, have collapsed. As the gold digger economy crumbled, students realized the courses were useless and began demanding refunds or reporting the organizations for fraud. In April 2020,
Damn, I didn't even know it was a school for that. That's crazy. See, look, we have a school too. It's the Golden G Club, and we just teach men how to pick really, really good women. Because there's so many good women. Like, it's a big planet with a lot of good women. But society has kind of like put the good women on the bottom and put like the gold digger, the hoe, the slut, the ones that you probably just have fun with on top, and like kind of dog out the good girl, or like don't take them serious, or like ignore them. Yeah, and then in a weird psychological, sociological way that makes other good girls want to go do what the other girls are doing because they see that the other girls are winning. Yeah, it's a bad merry-go-round. But we teach you guys how to pick them out. we have a lot of women that have many different backgrounds that just offer the best assistance, man. Like, we got the best female coaches, like, seriously, the best coaches. Like, the women that we work with, they are top notch, and they ain't on no gold digger shit, you feel me? And well, we do have a few that used to be on gold digger shit, and we have them because they actually can tell you how to point out gold diggers, and actually how to tell you how to point out, like, red flag females. But also, a lot of men need to keep in mind, you can't really worry about a gold digger if you have no gold to dig. Now, some men are working towards that, but it just is what it is. So, yeah, just wanted to put out that disclaimer.
24, a popular relationship coach who made 150 million yuan a year and had millions of followers, was investigated for tax evasion, leading to the institution's sudden closure. 5. Medical beauty industry. It's not that women don't care about beauty, but fewer men are willing to pay for cosmetic procedures. While the industry has grown rapidly in the past, suppliers in the medical beauty industry saw a drop in revenue in 2025, with companies like Bloomage Biotech reporting a 21% decrease in the first quarter, and IMEC Technology Development Company down by 18%. Some cosmetic surgery clinics even started offering discount packages and selling products with no scientific basis. 6. Online dating platforms. Men are increasingly realizing that many women on dating apps are gold diggers who use romance as a means to get gifts and trips. As a result, enthusiasm for these platforms has waned, with 2 major Chinese dating platforms seeing 5 years of consecutive declines in performance. In fact, the collapse of the Simp economy is just the surface issue. Behind it is a deeper financial crisis. YouTube commentator Xiao Cui revealed that China's central bank quietly removed an important financial data point, the scale of overdue credit card debt. The last time this data was reported was at the end of 2024, but since then, the central bank has stopped publishing these figures. This suggests that the numbers were so alarming that the central bank didn't want to expose them, fearing it would destabilize public confidence. She shared shocking numbers. In 2021, China's overdue credit card balance exceeded 6 months and was 86 billion yuan.
Damn.
This remained stable in 2022, but by 2023, it surged to 98 billion yuan.
That's crazy. But again, it's a global thing because the relationship dynamics are directly tied to the economy. The global economy is doing terrible. So therefore, everyone's economy is doing terrible. Therefore, everyone's relationship will feel some type of strain if it's on that type of dynamic. Like, now, if you got it and you done been together and you rocking, then you're not going to feel it like that. But for new established couples, or for those who are not in the 1 to 10% of the world, you're probably going to feel it.
An increase of 14%. In 2024, it skyrocketed to 124 billion yuan, a shocking increase of 26% in a single year. This year, when the central bank conducted its analysis, it found even worse figures. If released, this would expose the household debt crisis, so the central bank decided to erase these numbers. But Xiao Cui managed to find the relevant data in the reports of China's 2 largest credit card issuing banks, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, ICBC, and China Merchants Bank. The reports show that in 2024, ICBC's credit card overdrawn balances increased by 85.6 billion yuan, a rise of 12.4%, with bad loans increasing by 10 billion yuan, an increase of 61%. This pushed the bank's credit card bad loan rate up from 2.45% to 3.5%. The reports also revealed a massive rise in bad debts across all types of loans in 2024, including housing loans, consumer loans, business loans, and credit card overdraws, with bad credit card loans coming second only to the largest bad loan category, housing loans. It's not just ICBC. All 6 major state-owned banks saw significant increases in bad loan rates last year, with the same pattern across all of them. Xiao Cui points out that credit card bad debts are a warning sign of a deeper debt crisis. Credit cards have a low threshold for borrowing and short repayment cycles, meaning that once people's cash flow tightens, the bad loan rate can surge within a month. ICBC's data shows that while credit card balances increased by just 12% in 2024, the bad debts surged by 60%, indicating that a lot of new credit card spending is being used for cash withdrawals, not regular purchases. These users are likely to face defaults. Even more worrying.
It's getting serious.
Is that this bad debt crisis is concentrated in small and medium-sized cities and rural areas, meaning that residents in these regions are facing a wave of bankruptcies. With fewer job opportunities, greater mortgage pressures, and falling housing prices, ordinary people's lives are becoming increasingly difficult. In this context, even if some men still want to be simps, they can no longer afford to do so.
世界之大，真是无奇不有。三个男的请三个女的吃饭。
The world is full of surprises. 3 women ate with 3 men. But when the bill came, nobody had enough money. They even had to call the police. In the end, they scrapped together 400 yuan. Still short of 100. Next time, girls, make sure you know if the other side can pay before you eat.
The collapse of the simp economy is more than just a dating trend. It reflects how the economic slowdown is reshaping social behavior across China.
Yeah, so, yep, y'all take what y'all want with that information, but just know it's not just a Western thing. This is very real. People need to be very mindful. Men, fellas, gents, focus. And man, if you need assistance, man, find a good one. Come to the Golden G Club, man. We got y'all.